I started teaching at Rutgers, University of New Jersey, and I liked the students there a lot. I liked Rutgers a lot. When I moved to UNC, it was a completely different kind of experience because at Rutgers, most of my students were not overly committed Christians. Very few of them were evangelical Christians of any kind. When I came to UNC, of course, lots of students come from North Carolina. Most of them have been raised in the church, usually in some kind of conservative church. And in many ways, it's made teaching much more interesting, in part because students already have a vested interest in the topic. When I teach New Testament or early Christianity, the kind of scholarship I present is usually at odds in some ways with things that these students have grown up on. And so it's challenging to them, but it's especially challenging because they already have a vested interest and a firm opinion. And so when that's challenged, because their religious background and religious knowledge is so important to them, that it forces them to think about it. And so it's unlike almost any other subject in the curriculum at UNC or anywhere else. When my wife teaches Chaucer, she's an English scholar, nobody who takes her class has an opinion about the Miller's Tale ahead of time. So she can't disabuse them of something. Whereas my students, if I talk about problems in the Gospels and maybe historical problems and how it's hard to know what Jesus really said and did, or did Paul really write this letter or not, this is completely new material for them, and it's at odds with what they've always thought. And so they're forced to think about it. Since one of the points of a university education is to get students to learn how to think, teaching religion in the South is perfect because it forces students to think. And so for me, it's been a great experience. Plus, the UNC students are fantastic. They're really bright. They're really interesting. They've got interesting lives, and they've got interesting stories. And so it's been a terrific experience for me.